Here we break down the technology, what's going on in the market, and ways in which you can benefit. I am the mystical Mamadou.
And I am the dramatic Derek.
And here, man, the talk is different.
The talk is different always, always. And we told you every Thursday,
No Thursday missed.
no Thursdays off.
Shoot, even on Thanksgiving when you're grabbing on that turkey.
Look, you might be going too far. You might be going too far. I ain't gonna lie,
No,
but
that's going to be a
every
free spoiler joint. You're going to get something. Get something on that Thanksgiving.
you gonna get something, but we want to eat too. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go get my fill, so we'll see how that goes.
Most definitely, man. How's everything on your world, Derek?
My world is good, man. My world is good. It's another beautiful day out here in the nation's capital. Man, blessed, man. Just blessed. Keeping it moving.
I
How
love it.
about you? What's new in your world?
Man, things are cool here in the city of brotherly love. Man, it's been a crazy couple of weeks in terms of what we'll be doing, right?
Oh
Like,
yeah, man.
like,
I heard something yesterday. I thought it was the perfect just the perfect summation of life right now. The days are long, but the decades are short, man. Like
that's a
we've
fact.
for people that don't really know that's new to us, man. We've been working on our business idea, right? Like, the idea of starting a business together for 4 years now. We've been
2018.
running. Yep. We've been running the business for 3 years now, since 2019, and it has been a journey. We are not new to this. We are true to this, and
Amen.
man, it really has felt like, especially the past 2 months. The days are long, the decades are short.
Amen.
Shout
Amen.
out to
That's
Sam Altman.
shout out. Shout out. Yeah, man. We're really excited for this week because we wanted to take a different approach for this episode. Seeing that it's the monumental episode 5.
Yes,
What we wanted
sir.
to do was to take less time talk about news headlines in the market and focus more on just what we're doing with the Timbucktoo. Once again, hit us up if you're interested in merch.
Yes,
So,
yes.
because starting this week and for the next month, we have our we have 3 NFT projects that are dropping with our creative partners, right? And so we're really excited. We want to just to dedicate some time to really go over exactly who we're working with, what's the value add that we're adding, what's the impact that we're aiming to make, and just ways in which you, the viewer, can get involved. So if you're all excited, we can jump up into it. But real quick, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I realize we haven't been saying that for like the last past 4 episodes, and y'all haven't been liking because
That's the problem. That's the problem.
we're the problem. We
We the
are the
problem,
problem. So
man. So like, comment, subscribe, and make sure you share.
make sure, because
Make sure
everybody
you
needs
share.
to get this insight, man.
That's it. We trying to give it to the world, man. This is every Thursday. No Thursdays off. Even Mamadou said that he is dedicating himself personally on Thanksgiving to give y'all an episode.
I mean, I ain't
So
cooking on Thanksgiving, so I could.
look.
Don't act like you be in the kitchen, Derek.
Nah, but I'm eating, and that's a very important part. It's a very important part. I'm trying to tell you. It's
I,
serious.
I feel that. All right, Thanksgiving solo episode. You heard it here first. But yeah. So in all seriousness, let's really talk about what the vision of Relink is and exactly how we're going about the Timbuktu. So once again, Relink is a technology company that's focused on helping creatives, culture makers, and entrepreneurs use Web3 or blockchain technology. And the reason why we have this vision is because, as we all know, Web3 is this new age of the internet. We're seeing this new wave of technology and innovation. And oftentimes, those who don't have certain capital or certain resources are left out of the opportunity, right? And
Yeah.
so, what we want to do is to really equalize the playing field and make it where everybody, irrespective of their background, are able to utilize this technology in order to elevate their brand and make impacts. And so the approach that we're doing is we're first launching with the Timbucktoo, our first ever physical NFT marketplace. So instead of like the traditional NFT marketplaces where it's all just digital assets or digital artwork, we're focused on having NFTs that are paired with physical products or collectibles that our creative partners really offer to their consumer base. And so we're doing
Yeah.
a lot of exciting things with like three different partners. And I'll just stop talking for a second and let you
Yeah.
segue, Eric.
Yeah, I mean, but before we get into the partners, right? I think we should give the people just a little bit more on us, right? On a journey of how we've gotten to the Timbuktu, and where what's let them inside our thought process and our mission and values and things like that, right? And you touched on it. We really want to expand access to the NFT market, right? And this podcast is part of that mission, us fulfilling that mission of demystifying Web3 and NFTs, so that anybody can start using it, or at least get into the game, right?
Mhm.
Um, we've been really honest with you guys about, we've been in Web3, the Web3 world for little less than a year, to be honest.
From a
We
business perspective.
from a business perspective, for sure, we've been keeping up with it, for years, and like really started um, diving deep into what it is, and the business uses, and where we can use our business and our understanding and our knowledge to bring the most impact, right, to the community. And so with that, and last November, we really started, just evaluating what we were doing with our business Relink. The legacy system that we had was an e-commerce website where we were working to help. It was a e-commerce website for international trade, if you will. And our focus was Africa, and kind of bridging that gap between Africa and America. We were doing it within a similar space, right? So fashion, fabric, really working with amazing partners there, who have roots in, Mali. We had a supplier in Tanzania. We had wholesalers in Philadelphia. We had, great customers. Shout out Chevelia, shout out Gila. We had awesome people that we were working with. But we also saw that, in terms of impact, maybe it wasn't exactly what the market wanted, right? And so we started looking in, and we started that journey of saying, what can we do from our focus is, we're a technology company, so technology. How can we become more innovative? How can we, have a little bit more foresight and say, hey, we can bring something new to the market that's needed, that's going to transform business for the SMEs, right? For the underrepresented entrepreneurs and business owners. How can we bring value and impact for them? And something right now is that we've seen with Web3 is that these big businesses have spent money and time time doing the research, understanding the technology. They have the wherewithal to dedicate resources to that. But we see and we understand that may not be the case for your SME businesses, your small businesses, your underrepresented business owners, if you will. That may not be the case. So we wanted to be that arm, right? That innovative arm for those businesses, so that they can continue to be competitive. We know you guys are doing amazing jobs in your businesses, man. I mean, the partners that we have right now, man, they are doing big things. So we are grateful that they're trusting us to help usher them into this Web3 world,
Hmm.
right? So I think, you know, man, it's been a journey. It's been a journey, and that's why we say, man, let us know what y'all want to hear from us, what y'all want to know, what y'all want to understand, because this Web3 game, baby, that's it. Free game, Web3 game.
Absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, thanks for that because it really speaks to just the principles that we're building upon the Timbuktu.
Yep.
So if you go to our website, dtimbuktu.com, we'll pin the website in the description. You'll see that we have like three value statements or three value principles on our website:
Right.
culture, community, and commerce, right? Culture really being that essence of our creativity, our talents, our intellect, and the manifestation of those attributes. Community being that unification between everybody who and making sure that we're able to really collaborate with one another. And commerce, right? That economic activity, that business transaction, making sure that we can really funnel money throughout the entire community. And so these are the principles that we're building our platform on. And it really pays homage to Timbuktu and Mali, right? Which was the really intellectual capital of the Islamic world in West Africa for many centuries ago. And, it's really an inspiration of like how we want to be within this community, right? Like
Yep.
from a technology perspective, how can we allow our business to empower everybody to really manifest these principles of culture, community, and commerce? And so it's very exciting, man. It's very exciting. And we really believe that our partnerships with our three upcoming NFT projects really amplifies what we're trying to work on.
No, for sure, and it's been a great, I would say, a great start with these partners, man.
Oh yeah.
Again, we're just grateful that they trust us to help them enter this world. Um, so yeah, I mean, listen, man, we have really is four great partners that we're working with. Um, Two of the four partners are on the one of the same, they're on the same project, or one project, if you will. So that is Home Art Gallery, or Home DC. It is a art gallery here in DC, um, Black owned. I mean, they're doing great things. They're booked and busy, man. We had to schedule like 6-7 months ahead of time, man, because they're so booked, man. And we're trying to figure out things right now for 2023. We want to get ahead of ourselves, but man, they have been doing great things, and what they focus on is using unconventional spaces and turning those into art sanctuaries, man. They use the spaces that they've used, or traditionally you wouldn't think of it as, oh, this is an art gallery space, but man, they use the space amazingly, and so it's been great to work with them. And then on the flip side, the artist that we're working with is Patrick Henry. Man, if you haven't seen his artwork, you are missing out. You are missing out, man, because he does this 3D artwork, right? Using wood canvas, but it's like it's not. I know when I say 3D, you think of the digital 3D. No, I'm talking about physical, like the pictures. They don't call him Mr. Out the Frame for nothing. I'll say that.
Mhm.
I'll say that. And so if you haven't, go check out his work. PatrickHenryArts.com. His handle on Instagram is at Patrick Henry Arts. Go check it out. It is amazing artwork. and he has something special. So we are doing a show with them October 14th and October 15th. We're doing a weekend experience. Go to the Eventbrite. Go get your tickets now, man. I'm telling you, this is going to be the hottest event in October when it comes to art. Like, you have to be there. You have to see what we got going on. And of course, we are introducing this physical NFT. If you've been wondering, man, you've been talking about these PNFTs, physical NFTs. I don't know what that is. October 14 and 15 is your chance to learn. Learn now before it's too late, right? Learn now before you're saying, man, I wish I would have got those tickets. Those $30 would have been worth it, because now I understand this whole new market. I'm able to benefit from I wasn't able to get in on the NFTs before, and I had another chance and I missed it. We don't want that to happen again. We're not just giving you hey, this is NFTs, go buy this and the third. We're giving you experience, real life experiences. We're giving you education. We're going to be doing some some activations there where we're helping set up crypto wallets. We're helping you kind of understand that buying process when it comes to Web3, and much more, man, especially within the art world. And it's going to be fire, man. We got a whole thing cooking up. But I digress.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be fire because, man, first of all of this would be powered through the Timbucktoo, right? So on that weekend, you're going to be able to see all of the pieces that are available for purchase by Patrick. And once again, man, like, you're gonna get this really dope 3D artwork that's paired with that NFT, right? And
Yep.
so a huge value add. Also, there is a chance to win a Patrick art piece through our raffle. The
Yep.
raffle is real cheap. It's like $10 to enter. But
Yep.
if you win, if you're selected, you can get this project that's like worth big bank
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
NFT for like
And
$10.
it's only $10, and it's only gonna go up. It's only gonna go up.
Oh,
So
that's the fact.
if you're not in the DC area and you still want to experience, you still want to possibly win an art, in the artwork, man, go on to that Eventbrite link. You can purchase a raffle ticket. It's perfectly fine. And again, we are going to work with everyone to make sure that you are set up to be successful, that you understand this process, right? So you're not gonna be left on the island by yourself, right? You're gonna have us, and then you're gonna have community, man. We are working to make this platform something that is big, not just for our partners, but also for the buyers as well, for the community, so that we continue to grow this thing and make it something special. So
Most
yeah,
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
those are our first two partners.
Yeah, and before we even segue, I do want to mention just like this the story, right? Because I know you met Patrick. You both from New Orleans. Well,
Yep.
Patrick's originally from Jamaica, but he's lived in New Orleans for like years. And
Yep.
what like he's an individual who has been doing this great work. Like, he makes his living off of his art, right?
Absolutely.
And if we've been paying attention for like the last 1 or 2 years, we've been seeing like this new era of like artists who are making six figures and more off of their digital art.
Yeah.
And one of the key reasons for that is like the royalties that are built in within NFTs, right? Because often within this art space, like, if you're the artist, let's say I make this dope painting, I sell it to you for, let's say, $1,000. Like, that's my only chance traditionally for me to get bread, right? Because
Right.
if I continue to elevate my profile, that art piece I may have sold for $1,000 is now worth $10,000, or heck, even more. And now the person who owns that artwork that I sold it to has the ability to make big bank off of reselling it. But with the
Right.
NFTs and what we're doing with our PNFTs and through the Timbucktoo, there's smart contracts, which is just computer code that tells the NFT, hey, once this NFT gets resold, 10% or whatever percentage you set for royalties have to go back to the creator.
Yep.
So this is an
Yep.
opportunity, man, where artists like
Yeah.
Patrick are able to really make money in perpetuity from their work.
And look, I know y'all probably thinking as a seller, why would I want to not make my if I got it for 1,000, not sell it for 10K? Why would I want to give up that $1,000? I could just sell the physical artwork, right? And not even do it through this PNFT thing. But I think, you know, the other side of that, the flip side of that is that the NFTs are acting as the authentication,
Mm,
right? So instead of you saying, or instead of the buyer having to say, hey, I want to see the paper, I want to see the papers, there's the NFT right there,
mm,
right? The NFTs are the new age of, you know, show me the papers on this artwork. I want to know that this is an original. Let me go and you know, get a specialist who knows and understands art to verify that this is an original piece. No longer will you have to do that, right? So that on the seller side, that means that your artwork, your asset is worth more money, right? Because
right.
you don't have to play the guessing game on, let's say, an eBay, right? You can verify right there, then and there, this is real, this is fake,
Mm,
right? And on the buyer side, you don't have to worry about it. It's what they said about Web3, and it's going to hold true as we go into this new you know, I've heard different things. Digi is something that I've heard recently. Shout out to Jasmine Miata from Round 21. She gave an amazing talk at DC Startup Week last week. But when you're talking about this Digi world where we're combining the digital and the physical, you know, that's it's going to be huge. Where you don't have to you know, guess whether something is real or not, right? It goes from you need to be trustworthy to this is now a trustless system. And we've heard that a lot with Web3 is this is a trustless technology. And we're going to see that in real time, in real life, start to materialize when we start to bring in those physical assets.
yep.
So, I mean, I think it's a beautiful thing, but you know, that's just me. That's just me.
It's a beautiful thing, brother. Cool.
I could cry just being dramatic. I could
I
cry.
mean, hey, but if you want to cheer up, right, and go from crying to happiness, man,
How can I
definitely
do
listen
that?
definitely listen to Coatsy.
Coatsy.
Coatsy, the hottest track out of Botswana, mixed by our man
Coatsy.
and our next creative partner, Zeus.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hold on, y'all not even ready for this fire, cause listen, man,
Oh, we're
we
gonna play for a second.
we look we go show some love to my guy, man. We gotta show some love. Yes, sir. Uh, yeah.
Mm.
Spit something for us, Zeus. That's all we're gonna give. That's a little preview. That's a little preview of what's to come, man.
Man,
Our second partner, Zeus Deuce, rapper out of Botswana artist. Man, and I feel like, man, I feel like again, man, just this extreme gratitude because you know, Zeus is, you know, like I said, a Botswana artist, but he's so much more, man. He's so much more. He's done great things, and we'll have him on the podcast to give you more of his backstory, more of you know, what he's done and what he's doing, and what he's bringing to Botswana. And if you don't know where that's at, you know, we do understand, right? You know, Botswana is in southern Africa. It is actually right north of South Africa,
hmm
right? And so, you know, man, Zeus, he is an artist. He's also an entrepreneur as well. He's a videographer. He has a documentary coming out about climate change in Botswana.
hmm
Um, he recently has ventured back into being an independent artist.
Yep.
And so he, as an independent artist, as an entrepreneur, was looking for new ways to, use this NFT, this technology that he's heard of. And so we were able to get connected with him. And it's been special, man. It's been special. The conversations that we have with him and with all of our partners, but with him, in terms of where he wants to take this, right? It has been, man, an amazing conversation. And so we're starting off with his first single from his new album War and Peace.
Hmm.
He's released Coatsy, which, as you heard the preview, man, straight flames, beautiful vibe. Whether you from Botswana or you from from DC, as he says, from DC to Togo,
Hmm.
um, man, you're in for something special. So uh September 30th, Botswana Independence Day, he's given us the first NFT drop from Botswana, the first person to do this.
Of
Um,
course, music NFT in Botswana. So we're making history, man.
history is being made. September 30th, Botswana Independence Day.
Mm,
This not these not no little moves, man. We doing big things, man. We want y'all to get involved, man. We want y'all to get involved for sure.
definitely, man, definitely. And what's beautiful about Zeus is like how he's very embracive of like innovation and technology. He's very knowledgeable about Web3 himself, right?
Yep.
And it's important because working with Zeus, like, in the first joint when we was talking about with like Patrick and Home and like art, that's like more of like the use case of entities that we've been familiar with, like art. But you can really use NFT technology for any type of asset, anything that has some sort of creativity can be represented as the NFT. And so with like music, this is very instrumental because like traditionally it's very hard for musicians to really make a living off of their work, right?
Yeah.
There's just like two pathways. It's either pathway A, you get signed with like a major recording record label, right?
Yep.
And a lot of times they make deals that are like more advantageous to the brands, right? Versus you, the artist. So like they'll get the lion's share of all of your work and all your creativity. And then that's why you have to do like 1,000 tours and all this other nonsense, these 360 deals, if you will, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yep.
So there's that pathway, or you can go independent and maybe use streaming platforms like Spotify. Also, Coty is available on all music streaming platforms like
All
Spotify.
platforms.
So definitely listen to it. That's
Yep.
Kotsi, Coty. But you could go that pathway, be independent, keep most of your profits. However, they say like 90% of the streams go to the top 1% of artists. So
Mm.
artists like Drake, who literally has like billion plus streams, right? They're
Yep.
getting the majority of the bread. And like
Right.
with a lot of these streaming platforms, you got to get like hundreds of streams a lot of times just to make like a penny. So
Yeah. And on top of that too, I think that's a great point. And another piece of that is right now those companies, your Spotify's, your Apple Music, they're controlling customer data,
yep,
right? They are, all the things that you want to know about your customers, you can't really get. There's really no direct line of communication with your fans, with your community. That changes in Web3, right? Excuse me. Like the artist doesn't actually take that data, and they don't own it, but um the listeners, you get to take your data back, right? Which is important because then you can decide how you want to give your data to the artist, right? If for instance, with Zeus, we have so many more activations that we're planning, right? You can, we can set up that line of communication and say, hey, for this experience, we're gonna give you a chance to vote on some things that we can have present for that activation, for that IRL experience, right? In real life experience. And that's huge, where you can have these caters, these crafted experiences, and you don't have to go outside of, have this whole different technology. You can make your money in one place. You can also curate and can craft experiences in one place, and that's not just for the music. That's for all businesses. Anybody that ventures into Web3, you're able to do that, right? And
Definitely.
that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah, it's game changing, man. It's game changing. And like I
Sure.
said, we have many more things coming down the pipeline with Zeus. But I will say this about the Cozy NFT: it's more than just the music that you'll get through the NFT. We will also have free merch and different experiences and benefits, right? Such as being featured in a music video. Probably.
Ooh.
Dang.
Hey,
I'm
Coatsy, Coatsy,
saying.
Coatsy,
Whew,
Coatsy, Coatsy.
Cozy, man. Cozy.
Danger. If y'all don't know, Coatsy means danger, dangerous.
Yeah.
I believe, is that Matsuako? Is that
The
the
genre.
yeah? Zeus, don't don't be too mad with me. I'm still learning. I'm still learning.
You see, it's we learn every day here at the Timbucktoo, but it goes back to right culture, community, and commerce. The triple
Yes,
C's.
sir. Yes, sir. Three C's, but we ain't cripping. Yes,
Oh,
sir.
uh,
Yes, sir.
we're
Yes,
neutral. We like all colors.
sir.
We don't.
Three C, three C's, because we trying to touch a B. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
Cool, bro. Man,
But
and I'll just say, man, Coatsy, man,
Cozy,
Coatsy,
Cozy,
Coatsy.
Cozy. But look, I mean, getting into again, that culture aspect of it, right? I mean, the last partner that we're going to talk about, that we've been working with, and certainly not the least, because man, this business, this guy, man, Mamadou has known him for a while, but I've met him only recently, and started working with him. But man, what he's what he's done with his business, and what he's planning to do with his new business is out of this world, man. It is, another level for the culture, for the community, for commerce. And I'm excited for us to be working with him. And I'm excited to be talking about this on his podcast, and for you to hear this. Streetwear Connections is our fourth partner that we've been working with. And if you don't know about Streetwear Connections, then honestly, man, you're missing out. You're missing out, because they're doing something incredibly dope for the streetwear community, by bringing a new streetwear platform to the market, right? And it's really special what they're doing, and we'll have Razik on here. We're gonna have all our partners on here just to talk about themselves a little bit more. We definitely want to leave space for them to tell their story, and tell what they plan to do. But uh, we're starting off with this first NFT drop. It's gonna drop sometime this week. There's only a couple of days left, so definitely be on the lookout. We have our first NFT drop on the Timbucktoo platform. Streetwear Connections first NFT drop. One of the first NFTs for the streetwear community. It's going to be something big. It's going to be major.
Most definitely, man. And like Derek said, I know Razik, or Zeke as he likes to go by, since freshman year, so 2012, man. So it's been very instrumental for me to be able to like work with like one of my homies to like really
Yeah.
collaborate like from both our businesses to make something impactful. So you can actually hear some of Razik's story on our Instagram. We did a relink roundtable with him some months ago where we just talked about his entrepreneurial journey of how, and now he's transitioning from being focused exclusively on sneakers, right? Because
Yeah.
like his first business, Zeke Sneaks, focused on getting you access to like exclusive sneakers, Jordans, and things of that nature, to streetwear connections. And what's dope is over the years, Razik has built many partnerships with like individuals within the streetwear world, right? So people who specialize in like sneakers, people who specialize in apparel, jewelry, people who have like lounges, like shout out to the Dripster Lounge out in Atlanta.
Man, dope. I mean,
He,
just crazy.
yeah, and something Zeke told us he found was a lot of these people who operate in these spaces, they're so focused on, pushing out product,
Yep.
hustling, that they don't have the time to really invest in like having the technology. So
Right.
with Streetwear Connections, he's creating a platform where everybody can just, be all in one, collaborate with one another, and really, you know, leverage his platform in order to like make sales and make an impact. And we are coming in as the extra technology piece of providing the technology for the PNFTs. And what's dope with this NFT that's dropping for this week, it's really going to power the VIP program. So last episode, I talked about how like Starbucks is doing a VIP program that literally models exactly how we're approaching the Streetwear Connections one.
Yep.
And man, it's gonna be dope. Like, there's gonna be so many benefits from things such as discounts to the ability to get access to these exclusive product before anybody else. Man,
Yep.
we're there doing so much cool stuff. We're already talking about like in real life activations for next year and so much more.
Yeah.
And once again,
And
real quick, with all
yeah.
our partners, we're not just one and done. This is just step one of many more projects to come.
Yeah. So get in early, man. That's look, great point. Get in early. We want y'all to be in on this. And we'll talk a little bit more about how you can get involved and what that means, for us as well. Um, but I was gonna say also, uh Zeke has also talked with us about the experiences that he wants to put around those, right? And
Mhm.
if you want to get a preview of the Drifter Lounge, which is that's going to be one piece of that experience, if you will, that he's looking to give you. Um, Mamadou and Zeke have done lives every Wednesday, so you can go to at Zeke Sneaks. We'll add it in the description for you guys, all the handles for all of our partners. You can go check them out. But go look at some of those lives. I believe it was the live 2 weeks ago, maybe
Yep.
3. He did the live from the Drifter Lounge. Man, it was another great one. Definitely go check it out. Definitely go check it out.
Yeah, check it out. Check it out. And man, like all I can say with all our partners is once again, we're super grateful to all of you for allowing us to be a part of your journey. And once again, that's just our mission. We want to be that value add. We want to help you with the technology so you can focus on doing what you do best with your brand, right?
Yep.
Gone are the days of where only the big players, the big pockets, the huge Fortune 500 companies can really benefit from this technology. We want to
Yeah.
equalize the playing field so everybody can unleash their
Yeah.
creativity and make an impact in their communities. So yeah, once again, we're
Mm.
excited, man.
Yeah, I mean that's what Web3 is about. So for sure, we're definitely excited.
Yeah. And just to
Definitely
recap
excited.
the dates once again, so y'all can be tuned in. This week, we're dropping the Streetwear Connections NFT. So next Friday, September the 30th, we're dropping the Coty NFT. And
Yeah.
October the 14th and the 15th, we're having the weekend experience with DC Home and Patrick Henry to provide those PNFTs for Patrick's artwork. So definitely
Yep.
stay tuned. There's so many great experiences, and it's just only a smidget of a taste of what you're going to get moving forward with us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you can, for Patrick's show on October 14th, 15th, you can go to our Instagram at Relink Global. Uh the link is in the bio. Definitely go check it out. Buy tickets, buy raffles for the NFTs. Definitely shoot us a follow. Keep up with that. And of course, the Timbucktoo.com. You can access all of these NFTs. And so, with that, I'll actually go into my quick take because it's very relevant to what we were just talking about, right? And what I want to get into today is just talking a little bit about, you know, the user side of it, both the businesses or creators and project creators, but also the buyers, right? The people who will use the platform to purchase the NFTs, to receive their physical products, to use that as kind of a home base for their assets, if you will. um, Man, like, it's just really important for you to get into this game, right? It's important for you to continue to engage with us on the Block to Block podcast. Leave comments on, what do you want us to talk about? What don't you understand? How can we better give you an understanding to make you feel comfortable with using Web3 and becoming a part of this Web3 world? And it really, it doesn't have to be a perfect setup for you to get into the game as well, right? And what I mean by that is we are, just gonna manage your expectations right now, right? We're building something, right? So because we're building, there's gonna be some kinks that we're working out,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we need your help to work out those kinks. We need you to use the platform. We need you to buy from our project so that we can get a better understanding of how we can serve you, how we can serve them, how can we make this the best platform that it can be. And trust me, we're working day and night on our end to ensure that we have a platform that delivers ultimate value, right? That makes an ultimate impact. But it is nothing if we can't give you what you want. And how do we do that? From hearing from you, right? And so we need you to use the platform so that we can give you what you want. We can give you what's going to give you the most impact. And of course, keep tuning in, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to buy from us, purchase from us, for you to give us feedback and for you to receive that value from us. You keep tuning into this podcast as we learn things. We're going to continue to give Web3 game, free game. We're going to continue to do that. That's not something that we're going to close ourselves off, or anything like that. Web3 is about stepping into ownership, of course, but it's also about community. And we want to make sure that the broader community is able to access and use Web3 so that we can step into this next generation together. And that's it for my quick take for the day.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, man, it's all about collaboration. You're never going to hear from the reeling team of us being arrogant, us feeling like
Never.
we're better than you. Like, what you talking about? The Timbucktoo? Like,
Right.
no, it all goes back to the triple C's, man. We
Yeah.
have a culture of openness. We have a community that's focused on helping one another, and that all leads to commerce. Our ability to support one another from a financial aspect. So, triple C's,
Absolutely.
triple C's,
The three C's so you can touch a B. Listen.
man. Touch a bee. Speaking of bees, let's talk about Bitcoin.
Okay. I like that transition.
Right, you
You
got
had me,
a
yeah,
second.
you had me worried for a second. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, whoa, where we hit? Where we going with this? Where
You
we
see,
going with
there
this?
goes Derek being dramatic again. But man, so just want to transition to talk about like the market once again. So this is going to be really a callback to episode 2 when we talk about the Feds, right? Because the
Hmm.
Federal Reserve Bank, the Feds, the real Feds, the central bank of this country, which is responsible for like the fiscal and monetary policy, have just raised interest rates by 75 basis points or 0.75%.
Wow.
So that might not sound like a big deal, like, oh, it's not even like a whole percent, but it has a huge impact on really the cryptocurrency space, right? And so before I even get into that, just as like a quick reminder, when interest rates by the Feds are low, investors tend to invest in like quote unquote more risky assets, right? Such as they're investing more in like growth stocks like technology companies, really heavy into the stock market, cryptocurrency as well, and everything else of that nature. And that's because when rates are low, if you just keep your money in the bank, you're going to be losing out to inflation. And so the idea is, hey, we have more money available to us. Let's definitely invest it into assets that we believe can give us great returns that can beat inflation. Now, when rates are high, that means theoretically you could make more money and like less risky aspects, right? Like you could put in like a high yield savings account. I know for people who may have accounts like Credit Karma or like an Ally Bank or like a Marcus Goldman Sachs, you'll get those emails saying, "Hey, your interest rates just went up." Because I got a few of those myself. Like you
Okay.
could technically invest in like assets such as like high yield savings accounts or into like the bond market, which is seen as being less risky than stocks.
Yep.
And, you know,
This
and
is not a financial advice.
it's not financial advice. We're just giving like, just historical data, right? Now, we're experiencing like record high inflation. Inflation was like 8.3% last August. And so the feds are trying to really combat this by raising up rates because inflation usually happens when you increase the monetary supply and consumers are out there spending buku bread, right? You're spending money. But when you raise up rates and things become more expensive, as the consumer, you're not going to be spending as much. You're just, especially when you have like, oh, I got this high yield savings account, or I can put money into bonds. I'm gonna just like sit this one out, and that
Mm-hmm.
will, in theory, bring down inflation. So that's what the Feds are trying to like really combat right now. Inflation is, in my opinion, at least, the biggest threat to the economy at present moment,
Yeah.
and
And I
you
mean,
need to fight it.
right, right. I mean, they even got Joe Biden out here talking about, oh, I mean, inflation is 8%, but it was 8% last month too. Like, yeah, man.
Man, we're not a political podcast either. We're apolitical.
Very apolitical. We just do our ditty and keep it moving. So very
Exactly.
apolitical.
So
Apolitical.
you slipped up. Remember the C's, culture, community, and commerce. That's all politics right there. But so okay, so now you got that background on like just how interest rates really impacts like investor movement. So with crypto, once again, cryptocurrency is a very volatile asset class. It goes up and down very quickly in a short period of time, literally every single day. Like there's like this one commercial, I forget who has it, but it's really funny. It's like a guy with like cryptocurrency portfolio and he's on his phone. I'm a millionaire. Next day, I'm not a millionaire. I'm a millionaire.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
That's true. Like cryptocurrency moves that quickly.
It does.
So it's very risky. And in an environment where interest rates are higher and investors are looking for safer returns, cryptocurrency is going to take a hit. So Bitcoin, which during this crash, it went from a high of like 65,000 plus to it was hovering over barely a little over 20,000. With like this latest raise of interest rates yesterday, it dropped down to like a little over 18,000.
Wow.
Now, as of this morning, it's like it bumped up. It's like 19,000 ish, but it's still under 20.
Mm.
Once again, Bitcoin is the most dominant cryptocurrency in the market. It is the big mover. But how Bitcoin moves, the rest of the cryptocurrency will follow. So Ethereum dropped pretty heavy too. Like it dropped
Yep.
down like 1,500 to 1,300. And all of the other cryptocurrencies as well are dropping. And the reason why I want to bring this up is because for shout out to all the crypto bros and all the crypto enthusiasts, I'm not getting on y'all. This is just the facts that we're seeing. There's
Facts.
often, when it comes to cryptocurrency, there's often this theory of, oh, it's the ultimate hedge against inflation. It's the best way to beat inflation because as the US government or any other government continues to print out money, that lowers the value of the dollar. But with cryptocurrency, like Bitcoin in particular, for most crypto, there's like a set limit on how much cryptocurrency is available. Like there's only a set amount of Bitcoin. There will never be more Bitcoin that just gets made. And so with like a finite resource, right? The idea is that scarcity is going to drive up value, and that is going to be like the best way to beat against inflation. Similar to like how gold is like a hedge against inflation, right?
Yeah.
However, what we've been experiencing, especially during this the top of this year, that's not the case, right? Cryptocurrency is also following the rest of the market behavior when it comes to what happens when rates tend to rise up.
Yeah.
So
And
now that's not to say that crypto isn't a good investment in general. Like
right,
definitely keep in
right.
your portfolio, not financial advice, just opinion. But we have to be very careful and very intentional, right? We can't just believe
Yeah.
the hype of, oh, it's always going to be inflation. This is a surefire way. You have to protect yourself.
You have to that is a great point. And something that comes to mind with that is the reason um and this is, I guess, more so like personal observation, right? A big reason for that, though, is that institutional investors, they've went in big with Bitcoin and Ethereum, ETH and other cryptocurrencies. And so what we're seeing now is those same institutional investors, they have to pull their money out of, because really, they're not investing their money, right? They're investing your money, or they're investing, these billionaires' money, that they're investing other people's money. So when it comes to these recessionary times, quote unquote, when it comes to these times of economic hardships, they have to, like you said, hedge against the risk. They have to get, start to hold assets that are going to be a little bit more stable, so that they're able to retain the value of their portfolios. So they're pulling money out of these cryptocurrencies, and we're seeing in a sense a correction, if you will,
Oh yeah.
just in terms. And for even more context, in terms of the history of Bitcoin, this low is more than the previous high from the last period of fluctuation and volatility. So, it's a correction, but Bitcoin is still trending upward, right? I mean, if you really follow it, and you think about it, right? Again, this is not financial advice. This is just us talking about, the market, having a conversation. Um, you know, if you really think about it, at some point, those institutional investors are gonna invest back into Bitcoin, because again, there's that scarcity factor, but there's also, now, granted, there are other um, components, there are other factors at play as well, right? We've been talking a lot. If you haven't caught previous episodes, go back, look at episode 4, episode 3. We're talking a bit about the government and how they're starting to think about the cryptocurrencies and crack down on proof of work systems, because they're using a lot of energy. um but yeah, man, I mean, I just wanted to give that other perspective where, yes, Bitcoin is going down, and it's losing value, quote unquote, right now, and it may not be anti-inflationary, and it is moving with the market, but that's because a lot of institutional investors put their money into Bitcoin, right? Put their money into ETH, and they're starting to pull that money out. So what we're seeing is, it's just the normal, like we see with the tech stocks, things like that. People are starting to sell off,
Mhm.
and you have the market, or that value of that asset moving in the same way.
Definitely. Yeah. And once again, going back to that anti-inflationary debate or conversation, we also have to remember like Bitcoin itself is only 10 years old. For like for the most part, it just came out the last decade. And a lot of these
Yep.
cryptocurrencies are much newer as well. And so there's simply not enough data for us to really understand how these cryptocurrencies move, right? Like
Yep.
we can make general statements about the stock market because we have centuries worth of data to like just talk about like stock market activity. Same with real estate, same with like just about any other asset class. But
Yep.
with cryptocurrencies, we're still very early in, you know, definitely do your research, be very intentional about like how much of your portfolios in this risky asset class. You don't want to, once again, as we said before, we're not financial advisors, but we will say don't bet the house on crypto, right?
For sure.
Have like a reasonable amount of it in your portfolio and keep it moving. And once again, also during recessions, everything's on a discount, right? Like as the stock market, has this downward trend, as cryptocurrencies, as any asset class is going down. Now is the time where you want to get good assets that will have great returns for the low
Yep.
and
Yep.
keep pushing. You don't want to buy
That's
at the high, buy the low.
There it is. There it is. So what is that also the free game Web3 game for the day, or what's the free game Web3 game for the folks, for the good people who have listened to the whole 55 56 minutes of us going in. What's the free game Web3 game for the day?
The free game is this, man. Don't be scared of what's happening in the overall market, because once again, now's the time to be really focused on value and to really figure things out so you can profit when things are good again, right? So as you heard with our projects, with like Streetwear Connections, with Zeus, with Patrick, and Home DC, we're focused very so much on packaging as much value as possible for our consumers. And our bet is if we can really figure out how to do this with our partners and really build out a scalable model to do this with thousands and thousands of more creative partners, we'll be on the trajectory towards winning. So the same thing with you guys, right? Don't be fearful, be intentional, be thoughtful, and just work on figuring things out. And you don't have to do that alone. Always reach out to us if you have questions, if you want to collaborate, whatever. But now's the time. Now's the perfect time for you to be building your projects and to be making your dreams a reality.
I love it. I love it. Create value. That's the lesson for the day. Create value, culture, community, commerce, 3 C's, touch a B, and hit us up.
Hit us up. And make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and share with everybody in your circle.
All that.
All that.
All
Man,
that.
do you have anything else for the people, Derek, or do you want to
Hey
log out?
man, look, I think that's it, man. I'm tired of talking, man. This is a great episode, man. Great episode.
Classic. We get better each episode.
Each episode, man, it only goes up, man. High value.
High value. Man. So thank you all for watching. I am the Mystical Mamadou.
I am the dramatic Derek.
Man, peace, y'all.